Getting ready to go dirt bike riding on my Kawasaki. Got it hooked to my tow truck. Get ready to go out riding. Got my 93 KX 250. Just love that bike. It's hooked onto my little pickup truck bed that's actually turned into a trailer. And yeah, getting ready to take her out. My KX 250. It's a 93 model. And yeah, it's bad. It's a bad boy right there. Sure do like my dirt bike. And all my hot rods around here. Sure do like all my hot rods. Rollbacks and cars and, you know, trucks and everything. Keep calm and truck on. That's what that sticker says. Here's the white truck. We love the white truck. I got a couple of them Kawasaki's. That's not the only one I got. I got another one. It's actually got another parts bike too. Got quite a few of these around. And these down here are my other carbs of what I call my dream cars. This is a 91 LX Mustang right here. Excuse me, it's an 81 Mustang. It says 5.0 on the hood, but this thing is an original 4-cylinder automatic car. And it doesn't have a 4-cylinder in it no more. Rested between the frame rails of this car is a 5.8. So there's a 5.8 there. That's a Windsor engine. It sure is. Needs a lot of work, but most of the work's already done. The motor's in it, the transmission's in it, and it's going to be a force to be reckoned with. 5.8 box body, and over here is my Valiant. In one of the episodes, you see me put an engine. Well, we just put an engine in that car and started it up the same day we put the engine in it. But this is a '64 Plymouth Valiant, and it was an original 6-cylinder, 3-speed on the column manual shift. So now it's sporting a 318 now. If I can get the hood open. There's safety on it. There we go. And there the 318 sits at. And she's got one of them aluminum 3-row radiators in it. I'm going to get my son to help me work with this thing. It's got a brand new wiring harness up there on the firewall. Brand new, you can see that. Brand new, you can see the yellow wire there, brand new wiring going across the back of the firewall there. And comes up, and you know the headlight's still got to be hooked up in there, and it runs across here, all brand new wiring all the way across here. And there's another headlight plug. And this here is just a bunch of dead wires that are pretty much just ready to be, you know, mothballed. Once I get the headlights changed out, I'm going to throw that whole wiring harness. I ain't going to throw it away, but I'm going to yuck out that whole wiring harness. And she's rigged up with an electric fuel pump right now. You can see the fuel pump right here. There's the fuel pump. There's the wiring that goes to it. But she's a neat little car. We like the little car. A little Plymouth Valiant, '64 Plymouth Valiant. I like the grill in the car, and this manifold right here was big dollar. I paid $350 for that manifold. It goes down and snakes around. I don't know if you can catch it or not. The bottom there, you can see it right below the steering shaft. And that manifold come with a passenger manifold. That's a driver's side manifold. But both manifolds cost me $350. I paid more for the exhaust manifolds than I did the engine and transmission. There's the grill I love so much. I just love that grill. Love the grill on that car. It's just something about the grill on that car. I can't get over that grill. And of course, there's the side of it. We love the Valiant. It's a '64. We love the Plymouth Valiant. looks like inside. There's a race seat right there. It's not bolted in, but there's a racing ratchet shifter right there on the hump right there. It's already hooked up, and it's gonna be strictly a drag car. There's some floor pans for it. It's gonna have no back seat. It's gonna have 2 buckets in it, one for me and one for the boy. I'm missing the driver's side door panel. I don't have it. But it's got all the other parts, the window crank, the door handle, the armrest, but I'm missing that door panel. And I want to get that door panel. I got one for the back, and I got one from over there. And I got the back one. It's there, and then I got this one. It's there too. But I'm missing the driver's side, door panel. So I'm going to try to find one for it and make the interior more complete. But we just love the Valiant. It's one of our favorite cars around here. The taillights of this thing, it had a broke light right here. This lens was broke right there. That lens at the bottom, this clear lens down here was broke. And I went through a painstaking ordeal just to get that light. You wouldn't believe what I went through to get that, but you could clearly see there's no trespassing here. This is my Valiant, a 64 Valiant. Love the Valiant. Came out of Dayton, Ohio, and me and the boy drove the white truck out there. That's why I call that the long distance hauler. We drove the white truck out there and got this car. And I love this car. It's a buddy of mine had one in high school. Bob Martin, he had one in high school, and he lost his car, and we never got to really enjoy that car. His was a 4-door. This is a 2-door post car, and I really liked the 2-door post car. I mean, of course, if it was not a non-post car, I'd like it even more. But this makes this rare because there's not many of these post cars around, especially a 2-door. And it's 64 Valiant, and so this car had air conditioning. And when we got it, the guy had ripped the interior out, including the heater box. So the air conditioning is long gone. My son, we found a heater box online, a non-air heater box. So I've installed a non-air heater box so this thing will have heat. Because who knows, I might take this thing out in the wintertime, maybe go to the dollar store, go to the local, Choke and Puke or something to get something to eat and chow on. But we like the Valiant. We like the 5.0, which is, it's a 5.8. It's a sleeper. And that car is going to be a force to be reckoned with. Those are going to be some cars that are going to be coming up on some future episodes, specifically the Valiant, and of course we're going to call it the 5.0 because it's 5.8. We're going to call it 5.0. We're going to call it the what it says on the hood, even though it's not. It's a fake 5.0. That baby's got a 5.8 Windsor that I put in it out of a truck. It came out of a van, and so it was a half-ton van, and I had to change the oil pan in it. I had to put a Fox body oil pan on it. And those are new tires right there on the wrecker. You can see them new tires. And these tires got a lot of meat on them, and they're brand new. I got them tires at Walmart. Then I mounted them right here at Beaver and Son Garage. One more look at my dirt bike. And I got another bike right here that's going to go right here because a buddy of mine, he doesn't have a bike. So I'm getting ready to roll his bike out right now. And he's going to be riding, but that's mine. And, of course, the other one's mine, too. And there's this go-kart I keep talking about that actually my son, I bought this for my son. I bought this go-kart for my son, and I gave him the engine. So I basically handed him everything he needed. And I've done some work to it right now. We've got the cover off of it for the engine. The pulley, not the pulley, the deal where you can crank it over with, and the magneto is bad. The magneto is underneath this flywheel, and so I put the flywheel back on it right now. We've got to get a magneto, and once we get a magneto, we're going to do an episode of Beaver and Son Garage with the go-karts. We have one up on the hill up there in that little storage shed. That's the original cart. This one is one here that I bought the frame for $100. I had the motor laying around, and I said, "Here you go, son. Here's your new go-kart. Here's your motor." He took it to Johnny Morehouse. Johnny Morehouse did a lot of stuff for us over the years. Love Johnny Morehouse. He cut the shaft down on the motor to fit this centrifugal clutch right there. And there's his clutch right there. That's a centrifugal clutch. But he had to cut that shaft down after he put a plate on there and mounted that motor on that frame. And then he cut that shaft and lined that up with the where the centrifugal clutch was going to be at. And had to get that perfectly in line, otherwise that chain would keep popping off and wearing out. Did a pretty good job, Johnny did. And my son did a lot of mechanical work to it. He does all the mechanical work to it. He, of course, you can see he put slick tire on it here. You know, there's a treaded tire there, but it's about worn down. And of course, these tires here, he's had some fun with it. You can see the tire's completely bald. Tire's bald. That tire there still got some tread on, so we have some more fun with that tire. But that tire is a slick. That's like a drag racing slick. So we really don't know how much tread's actually on the actual casing or the actual surface of the tire. So we really don't know how long it got. That tire is made for road racing. It's a slick. It's made for the road. It's made for traction. So it is a cool little go-kart my son has. He's got a lot of neat stuff. My boy does. That's his custom Skylark 455 factory original 400 turbo car with air, and it's got the custom interior, it's got the custom package, custom interior package, and it's got the power windows, and it's a car's really loaded up for 1971. It's got a lot of options, and of course there's my Fury. There's my Fury. I love my Fury. My 73 Fury. It's morning out here. It's nice and cool. Dew's out and nice and calm and quiet. We love it out here in the country where I'm at. There's my Fury, and there's my son's Skylark. We put a 455 in that car, and that car is just we're going to be doing an episode with that car too. That car is definitely it's a mean car. It's just a force to be reckoned with on its own. And there's the favorite. There's the 69 Mach 1. Now that's the bad boy of them all. 351 Windsor, 30 over, 10.5 to 1 TRW flat top pistons. Kevin Mahoney from the Mach shop, machine shop, he built the motor in that car. So that car's got a special camshaft. It's matched with the intake and the carburation and the carburetor on that car. It's all a matching set. So your cams match with your intake, match with your with your carb. It's all a matching deal. So it's a 10.5 to 1 compression TRW pistons that are put in the car. Here's that 72 Mach I keep talking about. And this car here, it's been mothballed for a few years. It used to run and drive. I think the timing chain must have popped on it. I'm not really sure. But we've got some work to do. That's going to be a future episode, too. For sure. Well, look at what we got there. Where's that? Oh, it's my kitten, Spot. Hey, what up, Spot? Spot gets this thing because this little spot right here on her head. Right there. There's a little spot right down her head. You see that spot right there? Yeah, there it is. Spot right on her head. Just love that kitten. And of course, my son. There's his Charger. That's my son's Charger. You can see it. I got a fender and quarter panel left to do, and I'll be pretty much done with the body on that car. There's this Skylark. This Mustang here is mean, but here you can see the Charger. And you can see the deck lids got a couple little spots there that need touched up, and it's pretty much done. The quarter's all painted. Got a little bit of rough down there. I got to do roughing in. I finish roughing in, and down there at the front of the quarter bound at the bottom. The door and fender are painted, but there's a little bit of edging and a little bit of work right there in the gaps right there between the door and fender right there in front there. Got to do a little repairing there, and I'll be done with this side. The side of this car will be completed. I'll be completely done with the side of this car. And of course, this is my son's 880. He loves this car here. This is his 64 Dodge 880 that we've been working on. We love this car here. It's got this wicked-ass grill in it. It's kind of dirty right now. But yeah, look at that Magnum on it. It's got a brand new tire on it. We mounted that tire right here at Beamer Son Garage. Here's my cat. And, of course, there's my Cadillac. And the Mustang was there, of course. There's my 68 Coronet. And my original Barracuda. 65 Barracuda. We love that car. But we're going to go in the basement, and we're going to get the other bike out. Because we're going dirt bike riding today. And then we're going to go quad riding another day with with the quads, because we've got quads and dirt bikes, and we got everything here. There's Eleanor. See, Eleanor was painted just like the original Eleanor in the movie, the original Gone in 60 Seconds, the yellow and black. And I got it about 3/4 of the way painted. I bought the car kind of like this damage here in the quarter panel. It was all yellow and black, and it was hitting the right rear corner and hitting the left front corner. This car was given up for scrap. I got it before it made it to the scrap yard, which was before the junkyard. It pretty much was already in the junkyard. It was picked clean. The drivetrain was missing, the engine, the transmission, missing a fender or two. It was missing a lot of parts. And I put this car together, along with my son's help. On my 40th birthday, we put this engine and transmission in this car. And I am, I'm much older than my 40th birthday. I'm 16 years older, so do the math. It's been 16 years since me and my son built this car. And this car is a rocket ship. It's got the 429 in it. And here's a picture of the inside of it. You got a distributor problem, and over there is a distributor I'm going to put in it, right there in that box. So once I get the distributor in it and get the spark problem fixed, this car here is going to be on our track and in a future episode of Beamer and Son Garage. Can't wait till that happens. LTD is another one that's going to be a future car we're going to have on a future episode. So yeah, this is a 69 LTD. It's an original 390 car that sports now a 460 cubic inch big block engine that we just love. And of course, there's the Mach 1 again. There's that Mach. I love that Mach 1. 69 Mustang Mach 1, 351 Windsor. And I was telling you about it. It's 30 over. And there's my tow truck. I love my tow truck. But this car is definitely an old boy from the past. There's some new stuff there on the floor there, and a new center unit in that box. And there's a shot of that shifter in there. That shifter's actually been changed. The original shifter, I still have it, but that is a super competition Hurst that's in it. So that's not the original shifter. I said on the last video that's the original shifter. I remember now. I changed that shifter. I put a super competition plus shifter in that car, and that's what that is. That's a super that's a super competition plus, is what that is. And it's got the wood grain dash and the Mach 1 dash over there. It says Mach 1 on the clock over there. And this car is something else, I'll tell you that. We've got to get back on this car here. Freiberger's got one on his show Roadkill, and they call it the Disgust Tank. Well, mine's far from that. Mine's nice on the inside. It's a little rough on the edges, of course. There's a door. I got another door for it. I put that door up against the guardrail one night at 135 miles an hour. One of those, what do you want to call it, an alcohol night? Yeah, an alcohol night. Yeah. So we don't drink alcohol no more. But there's Eleanor sitting there. We love our Eleanor. And the LTD. But the reason I got you on here was coming down here to look at the other bike. There's a Ted Williams bike right there. That's a special bicycle there. I believe it's a Ted Williams edition. Somewhere it says Ted Williams on it. It's a very rare bicycle. It's a smaller, men's bike. Let me take you into the basement here. Oh, well, that's really dark. Yeah, we'll have to have some light for that. Too dark down here. We'll have to come back to that. Anyways, that's the mission today, is to get these dirt bikes loaded up. I got one loaded up, got one more to go, and then that'll be it. So, this is Beamer and Son Garage. I'm going riding. We're out. We'll catch you later. You guys have a good one. Till next time.